Hello, everybody. Welcome back to BareRose Garage. It's been a long old time, hasn't it? Oh, sorry about that. I was down in sunny San Diego seeing my new granddaughter. That was where we were for the past couple of weeks, and I'll be daggum if I didn't get sick that last week. And I spent the whole week in a hotel room. Hotel rooms and me and vacations. It's just a bad thing. But anyway, we're back in the swing of things. Who's all in here? B&R Racing. Good to see you, man. Give me a cubic inch. Give me cubic inches or boost or both. I couldn't agree with you more. And tonight's topic, I think you're gonna like B&R. Twisted Mopar's Garage. What's going on, man? Good to see you. And here we go. We have the man himself, John Wilburn. Great to see you, man. And of course, Auto Salvage Outlaws. Great to see you, man. Well, when I was down there in San Diego, it kind of made me think about this. I was going to do a whole video on it, but like a dang fool, I forgot my charger and everything for the camera here at the house. So I wasn't able to get any video while I was in San Diego. But my son-in-law, he's got a little Tesla. Now, he lives in San Diego. It is the perfect spot to have an EV, a little Tesla. Now, his is the one that it's only got one motor in it. It's not the dual motor or super hooty one. But he's also got, on top of the house that they live in, solar panels to charge or help supplement the charge for that Tesla. And where he's living, it's in a nice, it's right in San Diego. So that car only commutes maybe 20, 30 miles every day, just zooming around town there. And because it's San Diego, his sun's always shining. So that charger's always going for the house. And it also supplements our house power and everything. It's the perfect combination for an electric vehicle. Also, when he goes anywhere beyond San Diego, he's got a Toyota gas powered one that makes total sense. That is the perfect setup. So if I lived in that area, I too would have an EV, and it was doing it exactly the way he's doing it, because that is perfect. But okay, there's my little spiel about how EVs are actually a dang good thing. And especially if we use them in conjunction with the, internal combustions like we all have. Now, when we were driving around in it, getting on the freeway and that, he'd get on it a little bit to get up into traffic, because Southern California, San Diego traffic is pretty ugly. You got to get on it a little bit to merge into traffic. I noticed when he did that, I hear all this hype about EVs being just super fast, super quick. They just not lock you back and just go, which they do. They're pretty good for that. But it feels just like a big block with a manual transmission. It's this same feeling because of that low RPM, good solid torque that made Oldsmobile and Pontiac famous. So all of this hype about the EVs and everything, being super good and super quick and all that, in my opinion, it's just my opinion now that I've had personal experience with it and everything, it's actually more or less the same as what we've always had. It's just in a different way. If that makes sense. So that's what I was going to talk about during this live here, is the comparison with the EV off idle torque that is quite honestly about the exact same, as I said, as a big block stock form, big block, maybe with an RV cam, because that's set more for low RPM, right off idle go. How they just really do compare with each other. And also I've been studying around on all these other videos and that, especially while I was stuck in a hotel room with the head cold. EVs, they tend to peter out after the 8th mile in the drag racing. And that makes sense because the 8th mile is all about torque. The quarter mile is more where the horsepower comes in and you're able to drive past somebody. On the 8th, it's all about getting off that line with good solid traction and torque to get you out and get you going. That's the secret with the 8th mile. And that's where the EVs are kind of, yeah, they're a good, well, they're boring because they don't make any noise or any sound or have any character in them. But really, the EVs, I can see that's where they really shine, is in the 8th mile. But anytime you jump out to the quarter mile, you'll see that, yeah, the internal combustion engines that are, done up for racing, same as the EVs that are done up for racing, generally speaking, it's the internal combustion that takes them on the quarter mile. But that's my spiel there. As always, I've got my link pinned up there. Anybody wants to come on in, talk about that, or just talk about anything else. Well, it's open mic. We'll just talk about anything and everything. Okay, who else has popped in here? Looks like we got Mater jumped in there while I was babbling on about that kind of stuff. What's going on, Mater? And Eric, RC Industries. Yeah, there you are right there. And there you are right there. What's going on, man? Great to see you. NASCAR is going to go EV. I'll tell you what, it'll be a fast way to kill NASCAR because it is boring. It's just downright boring. And how are they going to do the pit stops? You can drive a car in and have that gas tank filled back up in a matter of seconds and change all 4 tires and throw it back out on the track. An EV, a pit stop to refuel on an EV, that could take all race. Or they'll shorten it up. They'll shorten it way up to, instead of the Daytona 500, they'll have the Daytona 5 lap. I don't know. I don't see the EVs really going hot and heavy into racing, especially distance racing and road racing like that. It's just not there. They can't do 500 miles on one charge. The EV has no soul. Exactly right. And again, back to my son-in-law, he's real big on the tech stuff. And I can see why the younger generation really likes that, because in that Tesla, he can pull out his phone. Yeah, get this. It's stupid, and there's a reason they call it ludicrous, because that's actually what they call it, ludicrous. He can pull out his phone, open up the Tesla application, the Tesla website. He can go on there and do the ludicrous speed, which is the tune for drag racing, for racing. And it's like, I forget what he said it was. It's expensive. It's like $200-$300, maybe even it was $400. I forget what he said it was, a month. And he can push that little button on his cell phone, and it'll send the app from Tesla to his car, program his car to give it ludicrous speed. And they charge you per month for that application. So you don't even have to get out and get your hands dirty. It's all done on your phone. You said it right there, everything horsepower. There is no soul whatsoever in just pushing a button and all of a sudden you got a race car, or cancel the app and then, you go back to a regular stock car. That is crazy, in my opinion. But with the newer generation, it's almost like a video game, I guess. You know, you don't have to get out. Uh, you don't have to buy a linkage adjuster to adjust your secondaries. Yeah, that little guy right there. And you can see this one right here has even been adjusted a couple of times. See how it's kind of shiny right there? This is an old Carter WFB, one of the original Carters. That's how you used to adjust your secondary openings. When you want your secondaries to open up sooner, you put a, my dad's actually got the tool for this, a linkage adjuster. It's a little prong tool with a T-handle on it. You stick it on that linkage and twist on it, and it bends it to shorten it. You get your hands a little dirty, and then you go out and you mess around with it and do a couple of test hits and see if you got it right. And if you didn't, you come back and you do it, you twist it the other way. That's my kind of application right there. Not this stuff. I got that in the house here because I'm thinking about cleaning it up and kitting it and putting it on that slant 6 for my granddaughter. That's right. My brand new granddaughter, she wasn't even a day old yet. And she got her first car. I gave her that 65 Dodge Dart. Now I got to hurry up and get out there and get that Ford out of the shop and finished up so I can drag that one back in and work on it for her. But yeah, definitely everything horsepower. You hit it right square on the head with that one. They got no soul. Cousin Mike, hiding in the bushes. What you doing? Good to see you, man. And thanks for watching the house while I was gone. Indirect Connections. I love that name. Excuse me. What's going on there, Jason? Colleen Tivo. What's going on? I apologize. I got that video all ready for you on the rat rods, and something happened when I was rendering it, and it lost all the audio. I haven't had time yet to go back and rework it and try to find out where the heck the audio went. I guess I could throw it out and you just watch a bunch of, but that's kind of boring. I'll get it figured out though, and I'll get it out there. If not, I'll go back up to Dad's shop and I'll reshoot it. 200 years ago, the same argument has been between cars and horses and EVs. Fun little fact, Studebaker's first car was actually battery operated. EVs ain't new. They're just reintroducing them. But like I said, I am not anti-EV. If I lived in San Diego, I would be doing the exact same thing as my son-in-law, except I wouldn't have a Toyota. I'd have a big block Ford. And that way, the mileage money I saved on gas with that Tesla, well, I'd stuff it right back into that big block Ford and have some good fun with it. Because that's really all that car is. It's just a tool. It like any daily driver. It's just a tool. Get you from A to B. That's it. You better start working on something before she turns 50. Yeah, I got to get off my lazy butt. Get back out to the shop where life is real. I have a 2.4 set up for a 57 Chevy with WC. Oh, cool. They're a good little carburetor because they're such a small CFM. I think they're only like 425, barely 400 if I remember right on the CFM on them. They're really small. And the cool thing about them, this one's real dirty. Maybe you can see down there. Look how deep the squirters are in them. They're way down in there. That's a good full finger all the way down. So I was figuring with it, I'll take and I'll put a big spacer on it to give that a little bit more time to atomize, because boy, they're right down on the throttle blades. But I figure a good 2-inch spacer, from the plenum, that should give it enough room there to help it atomize a little better instead of being just a direct shot right onto the blades. They were good little carburetors for their day. And that's where Carter started. If I remember right, WCFM or WCFB stands for William Carter 4 Barrel. I think that's what those initials actually mean. I think it's cheaper to go back to horse and buggy. It is until you got to buy hay. It gets a little spooky. One horse takes about, depending on your ground, but anywhere from 1 to 5 acres to have enough grazing proper land for them. But you got green energy, 100% green transportation in. They eat green, they use green, and they poop green, and it's a horse. So their poop is actually full of all the seeds. So as they're going along, they're picking it up and they're dropping it back down everywhere they go and fertilizing it as they go. You just got to be careful to where you step. Don't step into the exhaust. Oh Lord, no! I will never ever move to that state, that entire state. I just, yeah. The politics in California. Oh, I'm sorry for everybody that does live there and the stuff you folks got to go through. But absolutely not. I like my seasons. But San Diego, it was 1st of February. Well, Groundhog's Day was there. And it was 65 degrees. That's normal there. We're going to trade our Escape on one here in a few months. Oh, cool. And an EV. But here in Idaho, an EV, oh, yeah, I would have to classify them the same as a motorcycle for one reason, that they're seasonal. They're absolutely seasonal. And anybody that lives up in a place where it gets nice and cold, yeah, the cold is just too much on them. The heat you can get around. I've said it before. I've said it many times. Air conditioning is kind of a luxury, but heat's not optional. The heat doesn't fog your windshield over, so you can't see. The cold sure does. And a heater in an EV is a huge power draw. That cuts your, when you turn the heater on in those things, it cuts your range down to next to nothing. Well, and it cuts it way back. And they don't charge, as everybody experienced when they had that big old blizzard that went across the Midwest and down in through the South, when all the EVs wouldn't go no more. They wouldn't even take a charge. Yeah, cold weather in them, it just doesn't mix. So around here, yeah, I would have to classify it the same as a motorcycle. You can only ride them and use them when it's nice. Let's see, get caught back up here. Rabid Transit, what's going on, brother? Good to see you again. I think they're 400. Yeah, they're pretty small. Perfect for a 6-cylinder. $380. Anywhere in that range worked really good. And that's why I still got it around. I don't remember what it came off of. I asked Dad, and he thinks it came off of a 61 or 62 Chevy. There we go. Now we're caught up. I'd like to have some good old horse manure for my rhubarb patch. It works good, but boy, oh boy, you get a lot of weeds with horse manure. Around here, good Lord, rhubarb. I think it was all of the English settlers that settled into this area, but they planted it on the Snake River. And if you go down there, oh, you can find rhubarb patches galore down there, and along all of our canal banks and stuff, because when it goes to seed, it follows the water system. So a lot of our canal banks has got a lot of rhubarb just growing wild everywhere. But you got to be careful because it looks identical to burdock, except for burdock doesn't turn red. Burdock it's a thistle, a cockerel, nasty, nasty. But they're also poisonous. So, but the easy way to tell is because the stalks on the burdock don't turn red. I went out and found me some rhubarb and planted a bunch right here next to the house, next to my strawberry patch, because I love strawberry rhubarb pie. But come to find out, it's a male plant, because rhubarb will have a male and a female, so it doesn't really produce. All it does is I forget which one it is. It might be the female one. All it does is just grow out this long stalk with all the seeds on it. It's probably a female. I don't know. Point is, total fail. My horses at work get exhaust leaks. My eyes burn. Yeah, cousin Mike here, Landon. Yeah, he works with some high dollar champion race horses and a few quarter horses, the original quarter mile track runners. That's where the name quarter horse comes from, because they're made to run a quarter mile. Sorry, Rick, we got rid of our horse, but I know plenty of people who are full of manure. I'm right there. I done got rid of my horse finally. With the new grandbaby, we plan on traveling a lot more. So it's just good to get rid of her now. Trying to set up, for being gone for a long time when you got a horse, it's kind of touchy. And I hadn't ridden her for quite a while, so she went to a guy that does the pony rides at like carnivals and stuff like that. Real good couple. Cousin Mike here, he's actually the guy that set me up with him, and I just gave her to him. But like I said, I got my link pinned up there. If anybody wants to hop on in, we'll just kind of talk about anything and everything. Think I covered that all. uh, Doing it live like this, I can't watch it a few times and go, oh man, I missed a part. I got to go out and reshoot it again. Scarlet, oh, there you are. Scarlet, the four-eyed Cuda. What's going on? Good to see you, man. Llama poop? Yeah, I've heard that, but they knock they're more like goats. Hey, Tim Windsor. Great to see you, man. And no fear, the Dougsters here. Good to see you, man. But yeah, back on the EV torque thing and how really super good they are. I don't know. I felt it. I felt it personally, and to be quite honest with you, it feels like sitting in an Oldsmobile 442 with a 4-speed. And I'll bet you the Oldsmobile 442 or the Pontiac with the manual transmission could probably take them, because you got that good, solid 100% torque straight off the line, and you don't have to spin them up to, awful tight. So you get it all right there, right off the whole shot. And really, that's the only kind of racing I've really done. Any kind of drag racing I've done is just stoplight to stoplight, not even full eighth mile stuff. And that's exactly where all that's at, is off idle, fast, good hard torque with a lot of bite. Exactly. Right there. Yep. Everything horsepower. Said that earlier too, and I can't agree with you guys more on that. They're boring. They're absolutely boring. That's a drag race. Whoa, what? Huh? Have you spoiled her yet? Well, she wasn't even a day old yet, and she's already got a 1965 Dodge Dart. I, I'm spoiling her the right way. Races the coffee from the couch to the coffee pot, or from the bench to the coffee pot. Well, I speeded it up. I've actually now got a coffee pot on my workbench. Just saves time, is all. I remember even with the uh, RC cars, um, a friend of mine had both. He had the gas powered one, had the little Cox engine, or the little engine that runs on Cox fuel, and he had another one that was electric, rechargeable, all that. We had more fun with the gas powered one than the electric one, and that's completely and totally different. But because that was a little, you know, 2 cycle, those little Cox engines are, I forget what the heck they're called, officially called, but they're basically a 2 cycle engine. So you got to wind them suckers up to get anything out of them. But they had more range. The electric one, we go out and play with it for a little while out on the canal bank, and then you're done. You had to wait. Well, back in those days, you had to wait quite a while. You had to charge them overnight to get any kind of range out of them, or you could fast charge them for like half hour, but you wouldn't get much time out of them. The battery would run down real quick. But the gas powered one, you'd run it, you run out of gas, you go over there, put a little funnel in it, put a little more Cox fuel in it, and send it again. Last blessed sacrament, blessed sacrament, I think is what you're trying to say there. I think of Mopar. Good job, Grandpa. I didn't know what I was going to do with that car after I got it. And, it just came to me. I give it to her. Give me an excuse to build another one. The gas powered ones is a little bastard when they don't want to run. The little EV one or RC ones. Yeah, same with the planes. They can be kind of finicky. More than once, I've whacked the heavy living crap out of my finger with airplanes. Yeah, they had the little spring starter on them. You wind them backwards up onto that spring, and then catches it. The spring will catch it. Then you wind them up, and then pull your finger out, and then try to start it. More than once, I've zapped my finger good with them. Or do you remember the string remotes, remote controlled airplanes? They actually had 2 strings that went out and held onto them, and then you'd start them up on the ground, and then you walk in a circle, and they would take off, and then you could fly them up and down, but that's it. You know, of course, you couldn't go lateral with them because they're attached to a string, and you just go around in circles, and well, you go along and you catch the clothesline or the fence post out or the flagpole. The clothesline post is the one that got me. That string hits that, and boy, that sucker comes right around and gets you. I had bruises all up and down across my neck. And that propeller just whooping the heck out of me. I was like falling into a weed eater. Hey, Justin, great to see you. Is it still snowing up your way? Looks like it finally quit here. Of course, tomorrow it's supposed to rain, and we're getting up to about 40 degrees again tomorrow. So whatever snow it did drop is going to be gone. Used to fly model airplanes when I was little, and you're right. Boy, if you get your finger in that prop, oh man, I swear I trimmed my fingernails down pretty good. Probably why that one's kind of flat. uh, Actually, that fingernail is shaped like that, kind of flat off on that side. because I used to finger pick on guitar. So that one has always been shaved off flat on that side from backstrumming on with it. One of these days I'll get up the courage to break out the guitar on here. And boy, ugh, it's been a long time since I played, so yeah, I can't guarantee what it's going to sound like. RC though, he's actually pretty good on it. I like that original song you did last year. That's a good video. I shared it out for you back then. I should share it out again. See if I can get you some more traction on it. Good job on that one. My uncle had an RC catamaran speedboat, huh? Oh, cool. That was a weed whacker powered. We always wanted to do that with a chainsaw engine. Put it all together and made it run. Painted it blue and gold. It was ready for the water. He lost interest and sold it. Oh, son of a gun. My dad made a snow plane out of one. It was a kind of a weird looking thing. It was kind of like a swamp boat. He had a swamp boat too, airboat. Just, you know, the airplane engine set on the back with it. And the boat worked pretty good, but he didn't have servos controlling the rudders. So you just kind of set it and then you let it go. And hopefully it doesn't go all the way out. Otherwise, you're swimming for it. But he had a snow plane too that he built. That was the same thing. It sat on 3 skis. In fact, we still got that one. I'll do some pictures and maybe include that into a video. It didn't work quite so good though because the torque of the prop and the skis weren't set far enough apart. So if it got going good, it would actually torque over and flip over. Quit snowing here and up there. Yeah, it finally did down here too. Yeah, purple notes. I'll go with that one because yeah, I think cousin Mike has seen it. It's in the off in my dad's office, right up next to all of his repair manuals and his library. How's the grandbaby? Oh, she just oh, it's unreal. And her name is Winnie. And she's going to be little. My daughter is actually pretty small. She's built a lot like I am, real thin, you know, real small. So yeah, she's going to be kind of small. And well, her dad is Cambodian, so you know they're traditionally smaller people too. So yeah, she's going to be little. She's going to be lightweight. 100 pounds is how many tenths in the quarter? 6%. What's going on, man? Good to see you, man. Her name's actually Winry, but Winnie for short. Absolutely not. Oh, no way. That is one state that just, California is there to make Utah look better. Closest I ever came to that was almost moved to Nevada. Oh, years and years. When my daughter was first born, almost moved to Vegas. But that's as close to California as I would ever want to go. And now I wouldn't even go to Vegas. Especially since how all of California is in Vegas. Good night. You want to see traffic? Follow the I-15 all the way from the coast all the way to Vegas. It's nothing but bumper to bumper traffic that whole way. Hey, there you are. Black Lab Garage. How the heck are you, man? Great to see you. Oh, any of you guys looking to know anything about these 385 series big block Fords? Go check this guy out right here. Great channel, great guy. The lamp. That's actually going to be given away at this year's No Name Nationals. I highly recommend everybody to get over there to that, get registered. And if you can, even if you only going to be there for a spectator, show up. You will have the absolute time of your life. And you got a chance to win this old lamp right here. The major award. Oh, great to see you come in, man. You just made my day. I hope that truck come out okay. That one that the tree fell on it, I haven't seen any updates on that, but I sure hope that everything worked out okay on that. I won't give too much away because y'all got to go check out his channel. I'm pushing and pulling with everything I got to get there this year. I really regretted not going last year. Had too many things come up though. I had a wasted cam from a Cummins 400. I wanted to make a mailbox post from. That would be actually pretty cool. No problem at all, Black Lab. Just keep them coming. You you remind me a whole lot of my godfather, old James Reardon. Oh, he was one heck of a great guy. Uh, just your mannerisms, that everything. You remind me so much of my godfather. All I'll say is I have another cab for it. Hey, you're getting closer. Yeah, I missed you guys too there, RC. Get there this time, I'll be able to get another shirt from you too. This is actually the one that my wife bought. I was gonna sneak back over and back over towards your booth and get one for myself, but the hardest thing to do at the No Name Nationals is walk 20 feet because every 5-10 feet somebody's there to talk to. Somebody's over there. Hey, what's going on? Yes. It takes you about 2 hours to walk from one end of the pit to the other. It's not that far, but there's just so many people to talk to, so many people that come up, and oh, it's just the time of your life. You will absolutely have the time of your life there. In Sykeston, Missouri, ooh, somebody put the date out. It's at the end. I gotta look it up. My brain totally spazzed out, and I forget the actual date. I'm sorry. Let's see where he was. I was planning on bringing the T-Bird, but damage to the house stopped. Yeah. I'm excited about next Friday. I'm going to hang out at John Cope. Oh, sweet. Two hacks will be there. I tell you what, Jeff is one cool guy. It's going to be an official blast. That it is. And John is one cool guy, too. But old Jeff at Two Hacks, man, you talk about a character. He is, oh, at night when you go to bed, you'll feel it, your muscles up in your face will just ache from smiling and laughing all the time. I'm going to do another custom Cerakoted ratchet, Cerakoted, whatever that word is right there. Cerakoted. I'll go with that. Ratchet for no name, for a no name this year as a giveaway. Cool. If you haven't checked out what 6% did, he did it for a New Guy's Garage, I believe, not his brother, New Guy's Guitar, but he had a custom ratchet made for him that is just fantastic. Go check out his channel if you haven't seen it, and check out what he did for him. Uh, awesome, awesome thing. Absolutely not, Black Lab. A Trans Am? That absolutely not. That's the good thing about cars. They've all got a place. I think that's why I like rat rods so much. You get the opportunity and the chance to take the good parts from all makes and models and combine them right into one. Let's see. And like I was saying earlier, that Pontiac engine, Pontiac engineering is all about the torque. They are, yeah, they're fun. There we go. Thanks, Colleen. You saved me. September 19th through the 21st. That's the No Name Nationals for 2024. And like I said, even if you can just go as a spectator, very worth your time. Yeah, and Don's right on the spot there too. Ron English, the other English. What's going on, Ron? Great to see you. You're going to drive to Mohawks and ride with him? Oh, cool. Because Mohawk's not too far from you. James Gripe. Gripe. What's going on? Great to see you, man. I haven't seen you around for a while. That they do. Pontiac, Buick, and Oldsmobile. The BOPs. They're just all about the torquing. Good Lord, are they fun with it. Everybody asks, how fast you going to spin them? Well, you don't have to spin those very fast. They come all in about 5,000s. Pretty good for them. But that's a good thing. The faster you spin the tack, the faster that needle goes from F to E. And for just cruisers, just, cars you want to just get out on the highway and just roll down the freeway, good Lord, you can't beat a torque monster for that. Because you're constantly riding right in the power zone. The only thing I didn't like about the Pontiacs, Buicks, and Oldsmobiles, they didn't have a lot of manual transmissions. Most of them are automatics, and I'm a diehard manual transmission. I'm a Pontiac man, currently stomping on a 2003 Grand Am GT with 3.4. Sweet. The GT, it's just a regular GT, right? That the GTS, right? That's the one with the supercharger in it. New Guy's Guitar. What's going on, man? Great to see you. And again, if any of you are looking for some music put in with your videos, that is completely acceptable because it's all done by one of our own. Check out New Guy's Garage or Guitar. New Guy's Garage is his brother. Check his channel out. He's got some great music that he'll let you use it. Good guy, great channel, good stuff. He's only about 2 hours from you. Oh, cool. '78 Y88 Trans Am, huh? The gold special edition. You're gonna paint it black. Yeah, I gotta paint it black and put the gold chicken on the top. Pulling the 400 out to put the 455 in it. I had a chance for a 400, freshly rebuilt one. All I had to do is put a motor in a Volkswagen Beetle, and I'll tell you what, that's almost a ripoff because there ain't nothing easier than putting a motor in a Volkswagen Beetle. The hardest part is getting all the cooling tins, everything around the engine off of it. But once you get all that off, dropping a motor out of a Volkswagen Bug is air cooled. That's just beyond simple. But the guy had the motor stolen. So the Volkswagen motor stolen from him. So that deal fell through. Before he could get it over to the shop here so I could do it. I told him there was no way I was going to do it in the gravel. But that's all right. That 400 went to another good friend of mine, and he's doing it some good justice. The P, that's right. GTP is the supercharged one. Same guy that I was going to do that job for, that trade job for, he had one of them. All it needed was a CV axle on the passenger side, which is real common on that GTP because they put out so much torque that it would wipe out that CV axle. Especially if you're on it and you're on boost while you're turning, yeah, that tends to just wipe out. And it's always the passenger side one because that's the long one. If I'm right, yeah, if I'm thinking right, that's the long one. There you go. Colleen is Johnny on the spot with that. There's New Guy's Guitars channel. Go check him out. And Colleen, if you want to put up anybody's link here, yeah, we'll try to get everybody here some subs. Any of my mods, any of these guys you see up in here, go ahead and post up their links to their channels, and we'll see if we can't give them a little help. Let's see, get caught back up. This warm weather, I've been driving the T-Bird a lot. Yeah, you swung by in the 68. That's pretty cool. The bodywork's actually coming out pretty good on it. Some of those spots that were, yeah, they're not the easiest dents to pull. We even called in our expert to take a look at it. Well, we didn't have to put too big of a call. All you got to do is stand out front of my house and open a hood, and Daryl will show up. Yeah, great old guy. He just retired from auto body. But anyway, he come over and he was looking it over, and he gave us some pointers and stuff. Buddy of mine had a TA with a 400 4-speed. Yep. What a blast until he wrecked it running from the cops. The 400 Pontiac, well, BOP, that actually wasn't too bad of an engine. If you could find the 4-barrel one, but most of them were only a 2-barrel. And that one that I was looking at, it was only a 2-barrel. It was the biggest drawback to that engine because, when you start playing with the boppers, yeah, you're not in Chevy prices. You're up in Mopar prices then. Buick, Pontiac, Oldsmobile, Cadillac. Why they just call it a BOP? I don't know, because Cadillac's in there too. You jump up into those, yeah. Even though Chevy is made by General Motors, prices are not the same. Let's see, get caught back up on the chat here. New Guy's Guitars at 461. Sweet. I know it's been a long, hard pull for you there, New Guy, because boy, oh boy, the genre you're in, whoa, that is one tough genre to be in for a YouTube channel. Anything music related, wow, that's complicated. "96 subs, that's when you graduated from high school?" I was a little before you. I was a big old class of 92. Seems like a lifetime ago. Oof. I like that though, that I was the last generation that still had a cruise night where every Friday and Saturday we'd meet up at the old Fred Meyer's building in the city of Idle Falls, and everybody would show up there and just cruise. We'd cruise about a mile, about a half mile up and a half mile. But yeah, it was about a mile run around. That was just something else. We were the last of that. Then the cops, they kind of shut it. The city and the cops kind of had enough of that, and they shut it all down. But I miss those days. In fact, that's where I did a lot of my race. Well, I didn't do it on the cruise because that's where the cops were. But that's where you'd find the guys that would want to race. And well, we had some nice quiet country roads where there was nothing you could hit but well, if anything, a couple fence posts, and you have to fix a farmer's fence. But we'd take them, meet up at the cruise, you find somebody you want to race, and then you go out away. Well, statute of limitations is over with on all of that, so yeah, what the heck. that's that was our whole thing, but now it's all gone. And we'd do the cruise in Otter Falls, or sometimes, and we want fresh blood, we'd go down to Pocatello. Pocatello was a college town, so yeah, you had a lot of imports there, guys that were really into imports. So I'd have a lot of fun there, and I actually run into Dave Mustaine of Megadeth. He's actually from Pocatello. His sister and his mother live there in Pocatello. I actually run into him on the cruise and on the Pocatello cruise night. He was in a bright red Chevy IROC Camaro. 305. I couldn't get him to race, but yeah, got to see him there. Mr. Megadeth. That was back, well, Megadeth was kind of hot then. So his sister's a really cool gal. I haven't seen her in, oh Lord, 25 or so years. And her husband. They were really cool. Anyway, and then if we wanted some real hard competition, we go down to Salt Lake, Ogden, Salt Lake area. That's about 2.5 hours away. But that's kind of a long, hard haul. And the guys down there, yeah, they had a lot more money and a lot more time, and yeah, you go down there and get beat. Will a supercharged 3.8 Monte Carlo fit in a 2003 Grand Am? Asking for a friend. No, they're different. On those ones, yeah, they are different. If I remember right. The 3.8. 3.8 in a Monte Carlo, it wasn't the 4.3. I know the 4.3 won't. The 3.8, I'm not sure. I don't remember the 3.8 in the Monte Carlo. and the Monte Carlo is rear wheel. So there are differences there. .38 is front drive, yeah. I thought all the Monte Carlos were 4.3 rear drive. Trying to remember. I don't mess with many V6s though. In fact, the only way I messed with a 4.3 is I'd pull them out and put a small block in it. And it was just because of pennies of ponies. To rebuild a 4.3 was almost the same price as rebuilding a 350. So it just made more sense. 350, you got more torque, more horsepower, and you can actually get better mileage out of them running freeways and stuff. So yeah, you jerk that 4.3 out and stuff a 350 in it and have fun then. Good example of that. My dad's got a 92 Chevy half-ton pickup, four-wheel drive pickup. It's got the 4.3 in it. With the 700 R4 transmission. That thing gets V8 mileage because it's such a heavy truck that little V6 just doesn't have enough torque to pull that truck around. So you got to get on it a lot. And yeah, so the mileage on it really isn't nothing special. He keeps asking me, what are we going to do when it does need rebuilt? And I said, that's easy. We just pull that 4.3 out and grab one of those 010 blocks upstairs and stuff that down in it. Call it a day. Throw a carburetor on it, disconnect all of the, ECU stuff on it. Call it a day. Run the wheels off it. The only difference is you got to change the oil pan because of that independent front suspension. Takes a different oil pan. Unless it's the 90s, 2000 Monty. Okay. Let's see. I get to yapping there and I lose track in the chat. Like I said, I got the link pinned up there. If anybody wants to come on in, go ahead and hop on in. We'll talk about whatever. I do know that here, I believe in another 50 minutes, Andy Wood and David Vizard are doing a live. I was planning on running right up until the time that theirs starts, and then we'll all head over there. I'll try to do a redirect over to them. Andy Wood of Unity Motorsports, Casper. And the man who wrote the book on horsepower, David Vizard. Hey, that got the Doc in the house. What's going on, Doc? Great to see you. Wiring is so fun. Oh, Lord. Not looking forward to reinstalling the harness in the shop truck. Actually, if it's just a regular old carbureted, regular distributor, not computer controlled timing or any of that, they're not too bad. I've got it down to where I can put in one of those universal Speedway kits in about 2 days. I can have the kit completely installed and ready to fire in 2 days. They're real simple. Anything beyond that, though, yeah, I know what you're talking about. ZZ Performance is from Grand Rapids, Michigan, and they make some seriously stout 3.8 front drives. That's something I never really got into. I've I've owned front wheel drives, but yeah, they're dailies. I never really got into any kind of beefing up or anything like that with the front wheel. Fun thing to do with a front wheel drive is you drop the cradle out and then you stick it in the rear of a car and lock the uh, tires in, make it into a kind of a mid engine. I kind of call them a faux mid engine because they're not, the engine isn't truly in front of the rear axle, kind of like a Fiero. I was looking at that 65 Dodge Dart, and actually the way the rear end is set in there, that would make a good candidate for that, but I can't cut that car, so I'd have to go out to Walt's and grab one of his that's out there. Favorite Vizard quote: I don't have an opinion, I have a dyno. Oh, Lord, did he? Oh, brother. Well, we'll go here for a little bit longer, and then we'll all head on over there. I these time zone things, I get confused. Like I said, we'll go a little bit longer, and then we'll go ahead and pop on over there. And my favorite thing about David Vizard, though, is how he started over in England playing with those little 4 cylinders, and the amount of power that he could get out of them was just. And then he took those same principles and applied it to the American V8 when he came over here. And the stuff that he can do now, it's not just his dyno work that really got him to where he's at. It's all of his experience playing with no horsepower, trying to get horsepower, and then how he was able to apply it over here. Pretty neat stuff. And it applies across the board for, anything internal combustion. That's why I like the guys in Europe. The stuff that they can do with a 4 cylinder is just beyond cool because that's all they got. European nations are a little bit weird when it comes to how to get stuff. I mean, there for a long time, England, or I guess you'd say the UK, they had a tax on every cylinder. So if you only had 4 cylinders, you didn't have to pay so much taxes on them. They had horsepower tax, and they had they taxed you on the taxes that they taxed from you. So in order to do it over there, yeah, they had to pull as much as they could out of little bitty things, and they did some pretty cool stuff. There are off-road demo derby guys who take 2,000 Malibus and put a 3.8 complete driveline in them. and go kick butt, lightest car with most power. Wow. Yeah, that kind of stuff I never really got deep into. Closest we came to on that kind of stuff was with the sandrails. My friendship's antique motorcycle part. A gentleman bought a part and ended up paying 4 times purchase price to ship a piece international. Yeah, there's a guy on here called Ollie's Garage, and he lives pretty close to a guy that does imports like that. So if you have any kind of, everybody's talking about the Hemi 6, the Hemi Slant 6. If you want, he can get it for you. This guy that Ollie knows that he lives right by, but he specializes in importing from Australia. And the Mad Max Falcon, yeah, he can get them. But like Dougster's saying right there, yeah, yeah, you got to break out a few credit cards in order to afford it. Good Lord, is it expensive? Then you got to pay all the duty costs when it comes in, and oh, well, like when you're bringing in a full car and everything. Years ago, if you was in the military, you was able to do it. You'd ship it back through the military, but they kind of put a stop to that. Like everything, they take all the fun out of it. I want a 73 Australian Charger 6-pack, 2 barrels on the Hemi 6. Yeah, that is a pretty cool little setup. And they do a lot of Clifford over there, Aussie Speed, a lot of 6-cylinder stuff. I think Australia was a little more lenient on their cylinder tax because you see a lot of 6-cylinder stuff over there. Yeah, like I was saying, they pretty much put an end to it because by the time you put all of that money putting all the safety standards in it, yeah, it just ruins them. I know a lot of guys in the Navy and that were over in Japan, and they had all those, off-brand Japanese stuff that was really cool over there that we couldn't get here. Yeah, by the time they paid all of that to have them brought over here, it was just or if you was doing like a strictly race car to bring it over and keep it as a not, you can, or at that time you could do it, but the cost of doing it, yeah, is. In fact, I think Doc's got one of them that he's rebuilding for uh, a service guy, a veteran that's passed away, if I remember right. Anyway, go check out Doc Art's channel. It's a few videos back. I remember it. But it's one of those Japanese cars that I think it's a Nissan Skyline. Yeah, I think that's what it is. But anyway, Doc's putting it all together for a kind of a tribute for this veteran of ours that has passed away. Great video. Go check it out. It's it's still a working process because getting the parts for it are, yeah, it's the other bad thing about getting those one-off weirdo cars. Getting parts for them is yeah, it's easier to do a Studebaker. 10.5 to 1 factory. That's a hot 6. Boy, it must have been decked right down too. Because if you look at a slant 6, 225 slant 6, oh, when that piston's all the way up to the top, you still got a whole bunch. Well, not that much, but you know what I mean. And the heads on them are just stock 225 heads. They're huge open chambers. Dutch Guy's Garage. What's going on, man? Great to see you. Another great guy and another good channel. Everybody go check him out. Well, with that, I think well, we've gone on for about an hour and a half, and I sure don't want to take any time away from Andy and David Bizard. Let's see if I can find their live. Get her clicked up here. Copy. Paste. I'm pretty sure I got it there. 808. There we go. Just in case I can't do the redirect. Let's see here. I can't pin it. I lost it. Anyway, just in case I can't do the redirect, this is the link to Unity Motorsports over at, he's doing a live with Mr. David Bizard. I think we'll all go ahead and close this up for this week. I sure appreciate everybody coming in. Again, I'm sorry about the long pause in between there while I was on vacation, but we'll get out and we'll get something busy going on out in the shop out there, especially with the warm weather coming. Thanks for coming out, everybody. Thanks for everybody in the chat who participated. And we'll meet you on over to David Bizard's. In the meantime, and everybody, check out everybody that's in the chat. Show them some love. Go check out their channels. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. Don't cost you anything. And throw them a couple likes and a couple comments to show them that, hey, you're in there for them. Okay, in the meantime, we'll catch you all over to Unity. And thanks for coming out tonight. We'll catch you all out there. And you can tell my mind is a rambling. In the meantime, everybody get out there and let's keep some metal hot. We'll keep these old girls on the road where they belong, right? We'll see y'all later. Thanks again, everybody, for coming out.